All right. Well, we've just finished watching the first film in the marathon, which was Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Released in 1984. It was the first of the Ghibli films. And was it Miyazaki's first film as well?
I believe so, yeah.
The film is about the character Nausicaa is the princess of the Valley of the Wind, which is this secluded little valley near the Sea of Decay, which is this ever-spreading
Forest
of sort of fungus and insects, and it's covering the world, and it's poisonous, and the various nations of the earth are trying to figure out what to do, and there are these, what were the invaders called?
What, the giant bugs?
No. Yeah, there are these giant bugs that are ravaging the world. And Nausicaa is this sort of awesome character who's like an amazing fighter.
All-round best ever kind of person.
Glides on, across the winds on this sort of glider.
Just by the way, I want one.
Yeah.
Something.
And then these bad guys come and invade the valley, and they have this plan to stop the insects, but it might not work. And then there's these other people who are trying to stop them, and basically the film's about this character who's trying to stop the conflict between these different groups of people, as well as kind of protect the environment. It's got quite an environmental message.
Sums
really
it up pretty well.
So Brett, you've seen this. How many times have you seen this?
This will be my third or fourth, I'd say.
And what do you think of the film?
It's still certainly one of my favourites.
Okay.
I think now it doesn't rate as high, because this is the first time I think I've seen it with someone.
Okay.
Which changes my opinion on the films for some reason. First time I saw it was on SBS. Okay. I think like 4 years ago. This is the film that got me into anime.
Alright.
It was playing like way late night anime on SBS, and I think I came in halfway through.
Alright.
In English, of course.
It was on SBS.
It was on SBS. It was on like 2004 or something.
We watched it in Japanese,
as you do,
with the subtitles.
But yeah, it's still one of my favorite films of all time. I think watching it again, I've found a few scenes more awkward, especially the opening.
Yeah.
When the characters talking to themselves, I never really noticed how awkward that was before.
Yeah. So that was my main issue with the film.
I mean, I can see why they did it, if it's a very heavy-handed way of kind of explaining stuff, and I never really noticed that before, so that's... But I still love the ending.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite film endings.
I did like the ending.
Probably not as good as The Mist.
Which I guess we shouldn't... We shouldn't talk about the ending.
We shouldn't spoil.
Because
just if I say it's a very, I think, emotional and very good.
I agree, and I do think that it's worth... we won't spoil it, because I do think it's worth... Like, I would recommend it.
Yeah, watch it yourself.
Even as a non-anime fan, I did enjoy it. The things... I mean, from my perspective, there were a couple of things... Oh, I'll talk about what I liked first. I really liked just the idea of, like, having insects as the villains. Like, the whole universe in which the film is set.
In a way, it's also the humans are the villains.
Well, exactly.
But yeah, the universe is great, and I think it's the same universe he uses in a lot of films, because you see a lot of similar kind of stuff.
And yeah, just the whole idea of, like, gliders and bugs and just... like the machinery and the environment, the creatures of the universe, I thought were all...
You're going to like the next one.
Really interesting, yeah?
Because it's very similar.
I liked... There was just one moment in the film that I really liked, and it was a very small part, when they go into that desolated city. The sound design, the drums.
Yeah,
I thought that was...
I really liked that. I was sitting there playing along with it. I'm a drummer, so... that's... Actually, I've never really noticed how good that was before.
But it only goes for like 30 seconds.
If that, yeah.
But I just thought that was a really great moment. My main problems with the film were kind of things we just talked about before, were the dialogue. A lot of the dialogue, especially near the beginning when she's by herself, is extremely expository. Like, it's a lot of, like... She talks about how her heart's pounding, and I thought...
Yeah, wow. I mean, it's a very heavy-handed way of doing it, and they could have done it better.
And it just wasn't, like...
It didn't fit.
It wasn't necessary, I didn't think. The other thing that sort of bothered me about the film was her character, because she's basically
She's perfect.
like perfect.
She's
She's
perfect.
like an amazing glider. She's like a princess. She's a great diplomat. She's a
good fighter.
amazing warrior. She knows how to like
I mean,
mind meld with the
they
insects. or
try and
whatever.
give her flaws.
I don't know. I
but-
thought she was pretty. She was.
They try, but it doesn't work.
Yeah,
I mean,
and she was an
it's-
awesome character. She was a good protagonist.
Oh, yeah.
But she was almost like annoyingly good.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think Miyazaki does that a lot, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I
Spirit-
didn't say
you've seen
more.
Spirited Away.
I have.
I mean, I think that's one of the few films where the main character kind of isn't perfect.
Yeah.
Just thinking quickly, because if you look at Princess Mononoke, both the main characters are essentially perfect.
Yeah.
The next movie we'll be watching, it's Castle in the Sky, so Laputa. I would say the main characters are in a way perfect.
Okay.
He does it in a lot of films, I think.
All right. Well, is that anything else? I thought I mean, just kind of basics. The soundtrack was really good. I thought the music was good. I mean, I don't know.
I found the main theme exceptionally good, but I also have that as a classical song from many different albums. But I thought the action music was a bit cheesy, but from '84, that's kind of expected.
There was a moment when they were doing the air fight, there
Yeah.
were a couple of aerial sort
I
of
think most of the
dogfights.
action movie was just very, very over the top, cheesy '80s music. But it was from the
It's
'80s,
da-
so
it's
it's
dated,
dated.
basically.
The animation, however, is not dated, in my opinion.
No, the animation looks good, and I did think the action was actually good. Like a couple of
Actually, yeah.
the fights in the sky between the airships were really good, and also there was that one with the long like tapeworm with wings.
Yeah,
that bug,
yeah.
Which was another thing I really like, just like the design of the
Yeah, the
creatures
bug
was
design
just
was
weird,
great.
just weird but unique stuff you don't
Yeah,
normally see
yeah.
before.
I mean, in a way, sort of like Avatar, as such.
Well, actually, that's what I was thinking
In
of
the
when
opening
I was
scene,
watching the
because
film.
I obviously haven't seen Avatar before I've seen this.
We just saw Avatar a few
like
days
a
ago.
few days ago. But it the opening scene very much reminded me of it, like all the weird plant life.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Just the whole idea of this whole universe with all these bizarre things that you haven't seen
yeah,
before
yeah, exactly.
worked really well.
Even though it's Earth, technically.
The other thing that it reminded me of, aside from Avatar, and I did have that while I was watching the film, it reminded me of Lord of the Rings, specifically Two Towers. The whole,
yeah, I'll give you
they're
that.
kind of an isolated village. And
I'll give you that, yeah.
There are these invaders. It kind of reminded me of the whole Rohan
Yeah.
arc, and then they're kind of holed up in like a fort as the invaders.
Yeah, I can see the similarities. I'll give you that.
And just the whole sort of universe. I did also like how it was sort of the place they lived in. It was kind of medieval, but also modern. Like they had
Yeah, it's steampunk is
Yeah,
essentially the
yeah.
word. He does that in pretty much all his, most of his movies. I think Laputa has it. Actually, only 2 or 3 of them do. Actually, I'll take that back. Most of his early films do. I'll
Yeah.
say.
Here's an interesting thing that I found. Nausicaa, the character's name, is taken from the Greek literature. The daughter of King Alcinous, and her name means burner of ships. So
Wow, that's
there you go.
kind of ironic.
And with that, I think that's probably
I think that's
all we have to
that's
say.
all we really
I
have
would
to say.
recommend Nausicaa.
So would I.
Yeah, okay.